What happens if the situation that happened last night at the end of the first half?
Let's tell people what happened first.
All right, so basically what happens, the Bills are lining up to kick a field goal.
Yeah, Carpenter's on the field. They're going to kick a field goal, which will be, in theory, the last scoring of the first half. Carpenter's on the field,
and
Sherman comes.
Right, now you got to remember, it's second down. The Bills are going to attempt a kick on second down.
Right, I think it's a 49-yarder. No,
right.
No, it's less than. It's 4, yeah. Well, it's going to be 50-something yards, but there's an offsides on Richard Sherman.
All right, so there's an offsides on Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman also then goes running into Dan Carpenter, the kicker for the Buffalo Bills.
Basically took out his legs.
Now, the offside penalty was called. There should have been roughing the kicker penalty.
Without a question.
But that was not called. And since that was not called, and since since Carpenter was hurt, the medical personnel for the Bills came on the field. Once the medical personnel for the Bills come on the field, then that player has to sit out a play.
Right.
So this now forces the Buffalo Bills to run an offensive play on second down.
Which they basically just spiked the ball for
they have
3
to,
seconds
because
left.
there's only 3 seconds left, so they
Right.
have to snap it and spike the ball to get Carpenter back on the field.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
The hit, let me just say this about the hit. It was everything dirty and wrong about the violence of the NFL, the things that guys complain about, guys going after their knees, guys taking cheap shots at him. He was offsides. He knew he was offsides, and he made a beeline for Carpenter's left knee and took out his knee.
And that's Richard Sherman, the Richard Sherman, who was complaining about player safety last week. The NFL doesn't care about us.
Now, how did the officials miss that?
That's exactly what happened. So the officials missed that. So now they spike a ball. So now they run the kicker back out on the field, and because the officials are screwing around trying to get the K ball down and not get the K ball down, there's all of a sudden there's a delay of game. As a matter of fact, it was delay of game like for 5 seconds before they called it.
The officials standing over the ball until there's 4 seconds left on the play clock.
It's ridiculous.
And by the time he walks away, they can't snap it, so they take a delay of game penalty. He makes the kick, but because of the delay game penalty, they go back 5 yards, and then you know what's going to happen. Carpenter takes it wide right. They go to the locker room without 3 points on the board.
Here's the interesting thing.
The referee screwed them not once but twice in the matter of a minute. And I mean, look, it's just I don't understand how you allow that to happen.
That referee has probably reffed 1,000 games, or whatever, 10 years of games. And here's the thing. You maybe lose my train of thought for a second, but what happens if that would have happened on fourth down? What happened if the Bills lined up for a field goal on fourth down, and Richard Sherman did what he did, and took out the kicker, just like he did,
and they don't call it,
and they don't call it like they did last night.
Oh, it'd be even worse.
Then they wouldn't even have an attempt at a field goal. They would have had to throw the ball into the end zone. But the other thing too is, remember, if the kicker is fouled and there's a penalty flag for unnecessary roughness, then he doesn't have to leave the field.
Got it. I'm with you.
He could have stayed on the field. But then again, how good would he have been to kick the ball? But when you watch Richard Sherman do what Richard Sherman did, it is a clear, blatant shot right at Dan Carpenter's plant leg.